What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Rebel Jiu-Jitsu podcast. It's me, your host, Professor Daniel. I am recording this podcast driving home from my 6 a.m. Friday class. Back in the car, back in the studio, giving you guys what you want to hear. Okay, so had a couple people this week, when's the next podcast coming out? It's been a couple months, right? The title of this episode is going to be Priorities. Okay, so priorities. Prioritize. You got to prioritize things in your life. The older you get, the less time you have. You have to carve out that time and make it work for you. You can't work every second of the day or you will be unhappy. So you gotta try to find your happiness. You have to try to find your happiness, but still pay for yourself to survive in the world. Unless you want to go live in the woods. Even then, probably harder than just working. You gotta pay for your whole family to survive too, if you're a real man and a dad, right? So you gotta prioritize. Still, at the same time, you gotta find time to do jiu-jitsu, right? I was training 3 or 4 hours a day all through my 20s. So I kind of knew at that point, oh man, I got to work in jiu-jitsu because all I wanted to do is jiu-jitsu. Yeah, sure, I wanted to do some other stuff too, but in terms of how much jiu-jitsu I'm doing, I don't see how I'm really going to be able to get a different career going and train that much. And the training was uncompromisable. I wasn't going to compromise with the training. For me, jiu-jitsu training is more than just learning a new move. It's more than exercise. It's like 10 things in one. All my friends are really jiu-jitsu friends mostly. I have a couple friends from high school and college left. But for the most part, day to day, my friends are jiu-jitsu friends, either from New Jersey, AOJ, or like my students, people that I'm training with now. So I'm getting like the social out of jiu-jitsu. I'm getting the exercise out of jiu-jitsu. I train every day, good cardio, good muscular endurance. My brain is stimulating, playing the game of jiu-jitsu, studying every day. Jiu-jitsu is always changing. So I'm getting a lot out of jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? I'm getting a lot out of that one thing. But still, priorities. Okay, number one priority for me personally is probably God. Okay, so that's kind of like a big answer, right? If God is my number one priority, I'm trying to be a good person. I'm trying to literally be a good person and go to heaven, whatever exactly heaven is. Whether it's just karma, heaven on earth, or if it's an afterlife. I'm trying to be a good person by God and be a good person for my family. Be a good dad, be a good husband, be a good friend, be a good neighbor, all that stuff. So number one is God. That's like a way where I could keep like my true north. My compass is pointing in the right direction when I have that God, that faith as my first priority. Okay, we all heard about God as a kid, and some people fucking gave up. That's how I feel about it. If you have faith, then you're not giving up on yourself yet. You're not giving up on the world yet. Okay? There's a lot of bad stuff that happens, and you have to learn from it. You know what I mean? I've had all sorts of crazy bad things happen in my childhood, and as a kid, I thought, what? If God's real, why would he do anything bad? Why would anything bad happen any day? That's how you learn. You learn a lot. In every single loss, you have a lot of lessons that you can learn. And people make mistakes. You can learn from other people's mistakes. It's hard to go through at the time, but if you could use it to make you stronger, you'll be the strongest version of yourself. Okay, it's just like jiu-jitsu. It's like, if God was real, how come I get tapped out every day? If you're getting tapped out every day, you probably just started training. Even if you've been training for a while, maybe you weren't training at the right place. You have to find a real jiu-jitsu professor, real technical guy to lead you on this journey. okay? It's a huge ocean. You could train 10 years at some shitty place and suck forever. So again, it's like you have to have faith in yourself. That's why God's number one. Again, this is just for me. I'm telling you what works for me. You guys do whatever you want. You know what I mean? If you want to be unhappy at Sucker Jiu-Jitsu, don't listen to me. But anywho, number one, God. Number two, family. Okay? More important than anything is my kids, my wife, my family. I would quit jiu-jitsu. I would quit eating tasty cakes. I would quit eating any food I like. I would quit playing guitar. I would quit watching TV. I'd quit anything for my kids if I had to, okay? So, number two, definitely family. All right, so I'm at 1 and 2. I didn't even get to jiu-jitsu yet. I'm a jiu-jitsu teacher. I got a podcast about jiu-jitsu, and I didn't even mention it yet. But priorities, guys. You got to have your priorities. All right, number three, jiu-jitsu. Number three is jiu-jitsu for me. Okay, so number one, God. Number two, family. Number three, jiu-jitsu. Now, there's things that are important to jiu-jitsu. Like if you're not training that often, you have to do more than just train once a week for your fitness. You should be running, maybe lifting weights. For me, I've been training for the last, 10 years straight. I've been training every day. And before that, I trained a little bit as a kid. By a little bit, I mean for several years, but it was kids class, so not exactly the same as grown-up training. I'm getting more efficient with my training, and that's great, but I still need to get stronger. So I'm lifting weights in the new year. I'm eating healthy. I'm just drinking water, no beers, no soda. And I'm prioritizing my fitness, my health. Let's just call it my health, right? Again, it's like I competed 136 pounds. This is just 2 years ago. 141 light feather. 154 was the highest weight I competed at. So it's like I had to build up my body back from that. And now I'm a black belt. I'm a dad. I'm trying to be as big and strong as possible. So to do that naturally, oh my goodness, I started lifting weights this week. I'm so sore. I haven't been sore like this probably ever in my life. Felt like I'm like, oh man, am I injured? And I'm like, no, I guess I'm just sore. So it's always good, even with the fitness. Say you're listening to this and you're a black belt, is to still push yourself outside of jiu-jitsu with the fitness. It's very humbling. You know what I mean? I went to this bodybuilding gym, the Dragon's Lair in Vegas, and I was the smallest guy there for sure. And I'm not tiny, you know what I mean? I'm a 170-pound black belt athlete in my opinion, right? But it was like a bodybuilding gym. Everyone's humongous. It was great. I was like, all right, cool. It was very motivating. And it's fun to like keep learning, keep putting yourself in that beginner position. You know what I mean? Even if you're a black belt, even if you're a coral belt listening to this podcast. So those are my biggest priorities. You know what I mean? My career in jiu-jitsu is important to me. That's kind of like in my jiu-jitsu section and my priorities. Number 3, jiu-jitsu. But with my career being important, it's mostly just trying to help people. Jiu-jitsu, it could be for everyone. You could be any age, any body type, any ethnicity, and get into jiu-jitsu, but it takes a special mental toughness, belief, a faith, straight up. You have to know that, okay, even though when you start you suck, if you keep practicing, you're going to get better. There's people out there, there's girls out there that could just choke you out that are 120 pounds. You're a 200-pound man. Come on, dude. Go train. Not giving up on yourself. It doesn't matter if you're 30 or 40 or 50. Your life's not over yet. You're always going to have your skill level at fighting. Like a video game with like a level on top of your head. Okay? In real life, people can't see that, but that level does exist. You might as well try to improve that level every day, every week. So it's priorities. 1, God, faith. 2, family. 3, jiu-jitsu, career, stuff like that involved in there. 4, health, fitness, and my family's health and fitness. Eating healthy food. The food is the medicine. You know what I mean? You don't really want to go on a bunch of medicine. You don't need to go to a bunch of doctors. You got to eat what you know you got to eat. Healthy food, activity, sunlight, family time, I think helps your mental health a lot too. You know what I mean? Maybe not all your family members, but the main ones, you got to make sure that they're getting that love and attention, and then you get that love and attention back. That's 4. 5. What would 5 be? Priorities 5. Yeah. So the moral of the story is podcasting is maybe top 10 in my priorities, not top 3, not top 4. I'm happy to do this podcast. I got to carve out that time. The only time I really have is the commute to work. So I got to try to start doing it again now that I have some new listeners. But it's just, when you're a jiu-jitsu teacher like I am, I'm cleaning the mats hours every day. I'm teaching hours and hours every day. I'm studying jiu-jitsu too. I'm taking showers to not get infected by all these dirty people I'm training. I'm just kidding, guys. Just kidding. But I know you guys are there for a class or however long you're there for, an hour, 45 minutes, hour and a half, whatever. I'm at my gym working several hours per day, and then all day around that, I'm working, hitting up people late on payments. Someone wants to freeze a month because they're going somewhere, they got hurt, and this and that. It's over 40 hours a week. You know what I mean? When you work for yourself, you quit your job because you want to work for yourself and stuff. And trust me, it's way more than a normal job. It's 24/7. I have people message me 24/7. My students, strangers, people call me, oh, hey, New Year's Eve, are you guys open on New Year's Day? Because we want to come train. Oh, no, we're not open, but you can come and train a different day. Oh, actually, we train at a different jiu-jitsu school, but we're closed, so we wanted to come train with you on New Year's Day. Oh, for free? I don't know, is it open mat? No, dude, if we're closed that day, there's no fucking open mat. Leave me alone, jeez Louise. And then that's 15 minutes of my day when I was supposed to be talking to my kids. You know what I mean? So it's a big job, guys. You open up a business, it's 24/7. It's 24/7 straight up. That's why I have to prioritize. If I didn't, I wouldn't even really be able to train as much as I want to train. I make that a priority to train with my students. And if I just was too focused on jiu-jitsu, my family would get no attention. If I would do anything it takes to win, take steroids, try to be world champion, I wouldn't be putting God first and like really be trying to like be my highest self, you know? So you have to have those priorities set out, and then you work from there. You know what I mean? Of course, most of the people listening, you guys are jiu-jitsu students, but you probably have a job, right? So you got to do your job enough so that everything's cool, your boss is happy with your work. But then if it's not your business, you get to go home. You don't have to think about that shit, hopefully, for a couple hours. And then it's your time to give yourself a little bit of priorities. You know what I mean? Not just bottle up your trauma your whole life until you explode on someone, but better yet, train a little bit, whatever it is you like to do, whether it's jiu-jitsu or kayaking or volleyball, whatever. But giving yourself at least that like maybe hour a day to exercise or to do a hobby that is like fulfilling you a little bit in different ways than just money and career, right? You got to give your family that time. If you want your family to stay together and be happy, you got to work together. They got to know, yeah, you're working for them, but you're there for them when you're there. Sometimes that's hard too. You deal with people all day, whatever job you have. You're a garbage man, you're picking up garbage all day. Then you got to pick up your baby's garbage. Oh man, boo-hoo. But you can't forget what you're doing it for. You know what I mean? That's why family, number one, God and family right there. You know what I mean? I could have done God and family, number one, number two, jiu-jitsu, number three, health or something, but come on, got to give God number one, got to give him the full credit. You know what I mean? If without him, your grandparents wouldn't even be here. You know what I mean? The creator, your father's 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 father. So on that note, nice positive heavenly note, I'll leave you guys with that. First episode back. I don't want to ramble on too long. Priorities, okay? It's the new year. It's January. Time to prioritize. Time to find your priorities. It works just with jiu-jitsu too, okay? So if you keep getting tapped out, bottom side control, prioritize side control escapes. Watch hours of videos about escaping side control. Practice it in class as much as you can, and you will get better. Maybe passing guard. You keep getting stuck in someone's guard. You got to study guard passing. You could pick out a couple of your favorite athletes. If you don't know any of them, watch Lucas Lepre, watch Marcelo Garcia, watch Rafa Mendez, watch Guy Mendez, watch Tynan, Dalpra. These guys, amazing guard passers, amazing jiu-jitsu overall. And yeah, you can never prioritize a belt, okay? That's your professor's going to give you that belt, that stripe, whatever it is when they think you're ready. But what you can control is your consistency, okay? If you keep showing up every single day, obviously they're going to notice, of course. They're literally mopping up your body hair afterwards. Trust me, we notice exactly who's in class every day. So enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys soon. I'm going to try to get back to this podcast at least like once a week. That's what I always say. Let's see what happens. Okay, new year, new me. Once a week on the podcast. Maybe I could put it on my new YouTube channel, Rebel Jiu-Jitsu on YouTube. Check it out. Like and subscribe. I'm going to be posting sparring clips. I'm going to be posting stuff from seminars. And I should post all these podcast episodes if I'm a real content creator. Again, guys, for me, my priority is my students. I am a real trainer. I'm a real professor. I'm there every day with real people. My priority is getting their jiu-jitsu as good as possible, helping my students as much as I possibly can, growing that community day by day. So I know I'm just scratching the surface. I don't have a TikTok. I'm not like trying to be a jiu-jitsu celebrity or anything like that. But if this podcast can help more people, that's like really the goal. That's my goal in creating the content. So bear with me. You know what I mean? I'm a old 32. I remember the rotary phones. I remember time before cell phones. I'm an old 32. So bear with me. Hopefully I'll get there with the content. Okay? That's it. No more rambling. Take care of yourself. Number one, God. Number two, family. Number three, jiu-jitsu. Goodbye.